We're camping at Southfork State Recreation Area in Nevada. Check it out. Hey guys, I'm Kevin with Kemp Outside, your inside source for all things outside. We are camping at Southfork State Recreation Area in Nevada. I think the closest town is called Spring Creek. Guys, it is beautiful here. We're on the Southfork Reservoir in a state park managed property. Let me spin the camera around and show you this place. But guys, it is hot, 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 hot. And the sun is up. It's like in the mid 90s. It's gonna get to like 99 today, 97, something like that. We're about to go swimming because the best way to beat the heat is to get in the water. So I got my Fish Huge sun shirt on to protect me from the sun. And we're gonna go swimming, and then we're gonna come back a little later, have some dinner, and then tomorrow we're gonna drive up into Lamoille Canyon and go check that out. I've heard that it is a beautiful drive, beautiful pass. Maybe we'll be able to go see bighorn sheep. I'm excited about that. But guys, check this place out. So we're at Site 19, and today is a Sunday as I film this. We got here yesterday. And so it was busy on a Friday night, but everybody has just checked out. So there's the Kodiak canvas, and then we've got a pavilion there with a sunshade, which is nice. Got the Kemp bus, cargo campers behind it. Delaney's in his Merrimack 6 by Alps Mountaineering. And then as you can see, we have a pull-through site, which is pretty nice. But we backed the cargo camper in. And guess what, guys? We have electricity, and bathhouses have showers, which we haven't had in quite a while, so that's super nice. If you're following along, we're on a 2024 summer trip where we are going all the way from our home in Tampa, Florida to the Olympic Peninsula in Washington State and back. And so this is part of our return trip. But guys, it is gorgeous here. Let's go swimming. All right, guys, so we have driven to an area of the reservoir where we can go swimming. There's no real beach here or anything, but when I was talking to the ranger, he kind of suggested that down here was a good spot because it's a no-wake zone for boats, so you're not going to get a lot of boat traffic. I'm going to spin the camera around so you can check it out. And then we're going to go in the water because it is hot. So here's a look at Southfork Reservoir. There's some boats out there. Popular place for tubing and fishing and jet skiing. There's Delaney over there. All right, guys, in the water. It's not too bad, not too cold. Takes a little bit of getting used to. And with 10% humidity, guys, as soon as we come out, we are gonna dry off like crazy. I'm gonna go set the phone down so I can go swimming. And of course, of all of us, Barb loves to swim the most. We'll dry off and wait for her to come back. All right, guys, we had a great time swimming. Now it's time for dinner. We got some brats and cheddar dogs, and I'm doing tater tots in the Omni oven. Now what's really cool about this is something new that I've tried out. I tried French fries not too long ago, but I'm trying Omnia Ovens. Sorry, it's a little windy. I'm trying Omnia Ovens' new baking grid that they have. It's a non-stick baking grid. I'm going to show you the tater tots here in the Omni oven. Check it out. Okay, guys, you can see my brats and dogs over there, but we've got the tater tots in the baking grid, getting nice and brown. Tater tots and dogs, pretty good meal. So guys, that baking grid is awesome. These tater tots, pretty good. What's really cool is with my AlpaCool 42 quart refrigerator freezer, and I'll put the link right up here to where I did a review on that, I can now carry frozen food. So I can carry frozen French fries, frozen tater tots, frozen all kinds of things that I can then cook in the Omnia oven on the baking grid. So pretty excited about that. It works pretty well. I'm gonna eat these tater tots. I'll see you after dinner. So guys, I wanted to show you the new baking grid from Omni Oven, and here it is. It fits right inside the Omni Oven, and it's non-stick. You can use it with a traditional pan or a non-stick pan, and it works great. We used it for French fries. We just use it for tater tots. Anything you want to put on here that you want to bake, you can bake. So you can do it with like garlic bread. You could do frozen mozzarella sticks, frozen jalapeno poppers, all kinds of different things. So if you're able to keep frozen food with you when you're camping, you can now bake them in your Omni Oven really easy. I'm gonna put a link in the description below where you can pick up one of these baking grids, and eventually I'm gonna do a full review on this because I really like this product. Guys, something I wasn't prepared for was just how beautiful this place is at night, and especially at dusk. I'm gonna turn the camera around. You guys gotta check this out. It is gorgeous here. Here's a look at the sky. And of course, Southfork Reservoir from the back of our campsite. Campsite 19 in the East Campground. Just look at that. And the sun goes down over that ridge. As soon as the sun goes down, guys, it cools off here a lot. So it was 95 today, but now it's super comfortable to be outside. Just beautiful. Delaney and I have bought our fishing licenses, so mine starts tomorrow. Because he is underage, he gets a non-resident annual license. So he's already out there fishing, but tomorrow we're gonna go put these to the test. So stay tuned. We'll see if we catch anything. Well guys, it's an early morning. I took Scout Trail down from the East Campground. I'm on this point here, trying to see if I can catch some fish. Let's see what happens. Well, no luck so far, but it is a beautiful morning. I'll show you what I'm doing. Now, I've never fished in Nevada before in my life. This is the first time. And I don't even know if I'm going to catch anything, but I'll show you what I'm doing. Just to illustrate the point that anyone can do this, right? At Camp Outside, we always say that, you know, we exist to help moms and dads take their kids camping, hiking, fishing, learn about nature, and develop a conservation ethic. We want to help you get you and your kids outside. So if you live out east or wherever you live, chances are you have some kind of fishing rod in your garage, right? And if you decide to take that fishing rod with you, oh, I just had a bite. That's pretty exciting. If you decide to take that fishing rod with you, you can very easily rig up what I call a Texas rig. And I have a video on how to rig up a Texas rig. I'm going to put a link right up there where you can check that out. But basically what I have here is a simple spinning rod. Now this one is a Toadfish Outfitters, this is a 7.2 travel rod. I'll put a link down in the description below where you can get that one too. I really like those travel rods because they come in tubes and all that stuff. As a matter of fact, I'll put a link right up here to my review of the Toadfish travel rods. But basically what I have is I have a bullet weight right there, right? And a weedless worm, right? So watch that video on how to rig a Texas rig and you can fish with a weedless worm. And guys, they're cheap. You can buy them at Walmart. You can buy them at Bass Pro Shops, Cabela's, Academy Sports and Outdoors. You can buy them anywhere. I mean, and you know, some people will say color matters. I don't think color matters. I have every color. I just kind of pick a color based on the day, which is kind of a more advanced topic, but the bottom line is just get out there and start fishing. And what's great about this one, especially for kids, is if you get to a place where a lake is weedy, right? And you're not going to know. You're not going to know. If you have something with hooks on it, it's just going to get hung up in the weeds and you're just going to be winching weeds to the shore. And that's not going to be any fun. And your kids aren't going to have any fun and that kind of thing. But you can rig up something like this and it will go right through the weeds, right? And there's a lot of fish that hang out right on that weed line, right? Because that's where they ambush prey, which is what your bait is simulating, right? So, and I apologize to all you advanced fishermen who already know all this stuff, but my channel is geared to try and help people get outdoors. And sometimes as sportsmen, we don't explain the basic stuff. We skip into the more advanced topics, and the beginners are like, wait a minute, I'm missing something, right? So that's why I'm going over this. But basically what you then do is you just kind of cast it out, and then you work your way towards the shore. Now, sometimes I'll just kind of, you know, lift my rod up just a little bit, let it sit. Sometimes I'll do that in a retrieve. And I just kind of vary things up until I figure out where the fish want the bait, whether they want it on the rise where it's coming up as I lift my rod tip up. Some fish like to slam the bait when it falls. Some fish like to hit it while it's moving, right? And that also probably depends on time of year, how hungry the fish are, the moon phase, the tide. This lake is a lake, so it doesn't have tides, but currents, right? All kinds of things affect when fish feed, right? The bottom line is you're not going to catch anything if your bait's not in the water, right? So if you can time your fishing to the best conditions, that's always a good thing. But if you can't, you just rolled up on a piece of water, your best bet is to get a line in the water. You're not going to catch fish on land. You're not going to catch fish at your campsite if you don't have a line in the water. So my recommendation is you just get out there and you start doing it. Now, one of the problems is when you're doing this and you're not catching anything, like right now, kids get bored, right? So one of the things you can do, especially if you have kids, is you can do casting contests, right? You can rig up a worm on each rod for your kids and then have a contest of who can cast the farthest, right? And casting is going to be rod dependent. So if they don't have the same fishing rod and reel, right, whoever casts the farthest then has to trade rods with the one who casted the least far, right? And then you can do casting contests, and then there might be things in the water like, you know, something floating, like a floating stick or something like that. And you might say, you know, whoever casts gets closest to the stick wins this contest, right? And you can keep kids out there fishing with casting contests, right? And the whole point is to just go out and have a good time. If you catch something, that's a bonus. That's why they call it fishing, not catching, okay? If I stopped fishing because I don't catch fish, well, I would never fish. But I love to fish. And catching something is great, guys. Don't get me wrong. And I do hope I catch something here. I would love to say I caught a fish in Nevada. But even if I don't, it's a beautiful morning. And I'm on a beautiful reservoir. And the sun's coming up. It's not too hot yet. When it's too hot, I'm done. But when it's not too hot yet. And it's hard to argue with something like this. So I would just encourage you, if you go camping a lot and you go camping on water, whether that's a stream, a river, a lake, a coastline, you know, go ahead, pull those old fishing rods out of the garage or buy new ones, right? You don't have to get all fancy. I'm not going to, you know, I did put a link down in the description below to this toadfish rod. It's not a cheap rod, guys. You don't have to have the most expensive thing. But if you're just going to do this every once in a while, you don't want to go spend $1,000 to outfit your family for some fishing rods when you're doing casting contests, right? You're going to want inexpensive stuff. So is go pick up a $25 rod and a $30 reel, throw some line on it. It can be mono. You don't have to get the fanciest braid and all that stuff. You know, you can just throw like 10-pound test on there and get yourself a hook and some bullet weights and a package of fake worms and go to town. Now, there are other things that you can fish with as well. Everything from crankbaits to spinner baits to spoons, not your kitchen spoons, you know, something like a gold spoon with some hooks on it, panther martins, rooster tails, all those things catch a wide variety of fish. And I like to throw a lot of those things too. But I'll tell you what, when I come to a new freshwater system, and I have no idea what's in it. I don't know if there's a bunch of logs or plants or whatever's in there, and I got to figure out if it's weedy or if it's rocky or what it is. I start off with a weedless worm, and I work that weedless worm until I'm tired of working it, and then I switch to something else. So that's what I'm doing. Now, I've been talking to you for about 10 minutes, and I haven't caught a thing. So maybe my advice isn't any good, but I think it is. I think it is in terms of getting your kids outside and getting them fishing. And you never know, guys. I mean, I have seen beginners catch the biggest fish on fishing trips. I've seen beginners catch the most fish on fishing trips. I've seen beginners embarrass the seasoned veterans, right? And it's all about getting your line in the water, getting your bait in the water, working that bait, working that shoreline, working, the rocks or the weedy patch or whatever it is that you're fishing. And who knows, something big might swim by and decide that your bait looks fantastic. So, all that to say, I'm going to stop the camera now because I've talked to you enough about fishing, I think. And if I catch something, I'll turn it back on. Stay tuned. All right, guys, got our first fish. We got a nice rainbow trout. Time to let him go. Okay, guys, so ignore everything I just said, because remember how I said I work a worm until I get bored with it? Well, I got bored with it, right? And I worked that worm for about 30 minutes. So I switched over to a rooster tail, okay? And this is a rooster tail. And this one is actually a little too light for this rod, so I can't cast it as far as I want. But trout love these things. So switching up, trying something else is really good. Now, with this, because it has exposed hooks, right, I don't let it get too low into the water. So when I cast it out and it lands, it is almost immediately start to retrieve. And I reel it in so it stays above the vegetation or the rocks or whatever's in the water. And I wait for something to hit it. Pretty simple. And guys, I've only been fishing for maybe 40 minutes. Okay, so I caught my first fish inside of an hour. Now, I know with a lot of kids, that's a long time, which is why I recommend those casting contests and that kind of thing. But if you stick with it, you're most likely to be rewarded. Now, I'm pretty sure I could have kept that, and they are fantastic to eat, but I'm just doing catch and release today. So we got the hook out, and that wasn't really a problem. He actually threw it right away and got enough to get it on camera and get him back in the water. So hopefully he's fine and able to be caught another day by some angler who needs to catch a fish. And we'll keep fishing and see what we catch. So while I'm trying to catch another trout, I'm sitting here thinking about a couple of things. Number one, I need to get really good at my trout ID. I just don't catch them a lot. Problem with trout is they can get kind of washed out and then they hybridize, and there's a couple of them, and then you never know what's stocked where. So, and then I just don't fish out west enough to know what's what. But aside from that, the other thing that I'm thinking about is advice I would give to new or beginner fishermen. And some of it has absolutely nothing to do with fish and fishing. And that is, there's a reason why most fishermen look the same, right? We all wear hats, we all wear sunglasses, and we all wear goofy fishing shirts, right? Well, there's a reason for that. And it's protection from the sun. The sun is harsh enough, but when you're standing with no shelter, pretty much in direct sunlight, and on a body of water that reflects light back to you from up underneath, it's important to have hats and sunglasses and sun shirts. And so at this point, I want to give a shout out to my friend Captain Christopher Weir, who runs Fish Huge Charters out of Tampa, Florida. Guys, if you're ever in Tampa, Florida and you want to go on a fishing charter, charter Captain Chris. But Captain Chris also owns Fish Huge Apparel. And when I was first thinking about launching Kemp Outside, Captain Chris was just launching his apparel company, and we were in the same fishing club together. And so I told him I was thinking about doing this, and he was an immediate supporter. He just jumped on and said, hey, you know, how about I give you some fishing shirts, and, you know, you wear them when you're doing your fishing videos and stuff like that, and you know, would love to help support your channel, and then you can talk about Fish Huge, and we can just grow our brands together. And I can't tell you how much that means to somebody when they're just starting out, to have somebody else say, yeah, go for it, live your dream, and I'm going to help you. And so that's why pretty much anytime I'm fishing, and even when I'm swimming or doing stuff, or you'll even see Barb on hikes wearing Fish Huge apparel, because they are fantastic sun shirts. And so any advice I would give to a new angler is protect yourself from the sun. Hat, sunglasses, a fishing shirt, something that's SPF rated. If the sun is really bad, you know, Fish Huge also has the face shields that cover your face and ears. You can pull them up over your hat. I'm not wearing one because it's only 7 in the morning today, right now. But when it's full sun and I'm fishing in Tampa, I wear those a lot to protect myself. Guys, you do not want skin cancer. So it's really, really important to protect yourself from the sun. And then with sunglasses, what you want is you want polarized lenses. Polarized lenses help you see farther in the water. I don't know, they do something. I'll have to look up the physics of polarization of lenses later, but they help you see farther in the water, but also they protect your eyes from the rays and the reflections and all that stuff. I don't know if it's true, but I've heard that people who don't wear sunglasses in really bright environments get cataracts later in life. They're just more susceptible to cataracts. I guess I don't know whether it's UV damage or what. I don't know if that's true, but why chance it, right? I'm always telling my wife, wear sunglasses, wear sunglasses. She does not wear sunglasses. I don't get it. We live in Florida. It's so bright down there. It's bright here too. But when you're fishing, having polarized lenses not only helps you see in the water, but I think it also protects your eyes. So, sunscreen, proper protection, shade if you can. Really protect the kids, guys. Don't let your kids go running around all day long, you know, without a shirt on and stuff like that, and just get baked, you know, because you're just not doing them any favors later in life. Make sure you protect your kids from the sun, but protect yourself as well. So I want to thank Captain Christopher Weir and Fish Huge Apparel for being such a huge supporter of Camp Outside. I'm going to put a link down below where you can check out Fish Huge Apparel. I highly, highly recommend that you get Fish Huge Apparel if you're going to be doing any fishing or really anything in the sun. And they look cool. Guys, I'm wearing the red fish shirt today. I don't know if you can see it, but I'm wearing the red fish shirt today. I wore the dolphin shirt yesterday, the mahi-mahi shirt. They've got a largemouth bass shirt for you freshwater guys. Awesome, awesome stuff. So, thanks, Captain Chris. Let's get back to catching some trout, huh? Okay, guys, my next fishing tip is to always try new spots, right? If your action is a little slow and you're not getting anything, move on to the next spot. See if you can find something there. We're down this hill. My tripod's actually standing in the water, so this will be a little interesting. But we're gonna try and catch something here. If not, we'll probably call it a day. It's starting to get warm. So guys, not too far from Southfork Reservoir is Lamoille Canyon, and it's a Forest Service property. And guys, it's beautiful. It's about a 12-mile drive, and you can beat the heat because it's about probably 90 degrees down at Southfork right now, and it's about 75 up here at elevation. There's beautiful creeks and cascades, and we're gonna have a picnic lunch here, and then we're gonna go explore, so stay tuned. Absolutely beautiful in here. It's crystal clear water, mountain streams. How awesome. And guess who's in the water? Barb loves getting her feet wet. What a spectacular mountain stream. It's beautiful. Barb and Delaney are having fun down there. I mountain goated my way up that hill. I'm tired. So I'm sure the videos aren't doing this place justice. What you see with your eyes versus what the camera sees are just two different things. But I gotta say, this was definitely worth coming up here. It's not too far, maybe 30 minutes from Southfork, and it's a 12-mile drive up this pass. And it's not even really a pass, I guess, because it stops. But it's 12 miles up, beautiful views, and at elevation, it's so much cooler up here. So if you're down at Southfork and you're just baking in the sun, go for a drive. You'll be glad you did. Got Barb checking out this cascade right next to the road. Just beautiful. All right, guys, we had a fantastic time at Lamoille Canyon. We're back at camp. It's time to make some dinner. We're making some Oz dip. Now, if you haven't seen my video on Oz dip, it's a 4-ingredient chip dip that's fantastic for appetizers or whole meals. I'm gonna put a link right up there where you can check that out. Shout out to my friend Brian Oz from college who taught me how to make this thing. We're doing it in our Omni oven, so I'm excited for that. When we got back, it was windy, guys. It was so windy. I couldn't even film because the microphone would just pick up the wind. It was nuts. Luckily, it's calmed down a little bit. I'm using the trailer as like a wind block here, and also a little bit of shade because it's still really warm. But I'm gonna get dinner cooked up, and then it'll be time to enjoy our last evening here at Southfork State Recreation Area. Okay, guys, it's time to eat here. So we've got cheese on top of some ground beef, on top of some canned chili, on top of cream cheese. And you just dump it in a bowl. And then you eat it with chips. It's really good. Okay. Well, guys, we had a delicious dinner, and you know, one of the things that's really funny is I just cleaned the camp stove, and it's amazing how fast stuff dries here. Like 10% humidity is an insanely low amount of humidity for someone who lives in Florida. So it's really nice that I can just really get the camp stove really wet and you know, clean it and then rinse it really well, and then just have it dry a few minutes later. That's phenomenal. Although I will say that I'm starting to get chapped lips And I feel more like a reptile than a mammal because I feel like I've got scales instead of skin. So I'm probably gonna need some humidity again sometime soon. I can't believe I'm saying that. I hate humidity in Florida. Oh well. We gotta pack up the fishing gear and we gotta get ready because we're gonna do an early morning rollout tomorrow. So guys, I just want to say it has been fantastic camping at Southfork State Recreation Area. As I'm filming, I'm looking out at the reservoir, and what a beautiful place. I definitely want to come back to Nevada, spend some more time here, see some things. I want to go visit Great Basin National Park. That's on my list of things to do, as well as some other places. So yeah, I've got to get back out here. So for now, I'm going to close out the video. Guys, I'm Kevin with Camp Outside, your inside source for all things outside. We exist to help moms and dads take their kids camping, hiking, fishing, learn about nature, and develop a conservation ethic. We want to help you, get you and your kids outside. So if you have any questions about camping at Southfork State Recreation Area, or anything you saw in the video, fishing, the canyon, anything, drop them in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. Or you can connect with us at our other social media. We're on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Twitter, or our website at campoutside.com. Guys, we have a few more stops left in our 2024 summer trip, so stay tuned, hit that subscribe, give me a thumbs up on this video, and hit that little bell icon that notifies you when we release new videos so you don't miss anything. Guys, we roll to Dinosaur National Monument tomorrow, so stay tuned. See you next time.